Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello students, in this lecture we are going to discuss the important questions of the fourth topic of this chapter, that was sowing. Right, let us see what sowing is. Let us see what the important questions for the fourth topic are. Firstly, what are the good qualities of a good seed? What are the qualities of a good seed? How can we choose good seeds before sowing? Firstly, the good qualities are viable for high amount of germination. Secondly, high yielding. Thirdly, free from pests and insects. Right? Fourthly, they must be treated with fungicides before sowing. Right? Now, how can we choose good seeds before sowing? Basically, here you have to treat them with water. You try to sink them. The sunk seeds are good because they are heavier. They are not hollow. While the bad seeds, the seeds those are bad, which have been eaten by microorganisms, will float on the surface of water because they are hollow and they are much lighter as compared to water, so they float. So this is how we choose good seeds before sowing, and the qualities of good seeds are this. Next question, what are the important points to be remembered while sowing seeds? First point is, the seeds must be sown at a proper distance. Students, this again is a 3-mark question. If this is a 3-mark question, you will give the full detail. You will explain it in detail that what is the advantages of growing seeds at proper distance. Secondly, the seeds must be sown at a proper depth. They must not be on the surface of the soil. They must be at a proper depth so that they can obtain the nutrients from the soil. Right? So these are the important points to be remembered while sowing seeds. If this is a 1-mark question, you will simply provide the statements. But if it is a 3-mark question, you will be given the complete detail that why it is important to grow the seeds at a good distance and a good depth. Third question, which tools are used for sowing seeds? Firstly, the tool used is, firstly was traditional tools, right? Second was seed drill and broadcaster. Let us write traditional tools. What was this? Funnel attached to the plow, right? So funnel is attached to the plow. There is a funnel, there is a tube which is joined with the plow, right? The end of the plow, so that the soil is plown and the seeds are also sown at the same time. So this was the first traditional tool. Second is a seed drill. It is a machine that has a funnel on the top connected to many hollow tubes which discharge the seeds in the field in a uniform manner. Right? This is how seeds are distributed with the help of a seed drill. Thirdly, broadcaster. It is basically a funnel, but it distributes the seeds in a random manner. So these are the 3 tools which are utilized for sowing. Next question, what are the methods used for sowing of seeds? First is broadcasting. This method is used for random distribution of crops, right? It is done with the help of hands or a broadcaster, right? Second is with the help of a seed drill. We write this method as seed drilling. Here we use a seed drill. This is a uniform sowing of seeds, right? Here the sowing of seeds is uniform because the seed drill helps in uniform sowing of seeds. Third is transplantation. What happens in transplantation? The seed is grown in a nursery till it becomes a seedling, and the seedling is transferred to the field, right, for better growth. So in the transplantation, you keep the seed in the nursery until it becomes a seedling, and after that you transfer it to the field. So these are the different methods of sowing of seeds, right? What is irrigation? Why is it important? First of all, students, you have to define what irrigation is. The definition of irrigation is that the watering of crops, the supply of water to the crops at certain intervals of time is called as irrigation, right? Now, why is it important? We studied 5 reasons, right? We studied 5 reasons for the first point was proper growth and development, right? For the proper growth and development of plants. Secondly, because the minerals and fertilizers are absorbed by the roots when they are dissolved in water, right? Thirdly, you can say that the nutrients in the plant body are transferred with the help of water, right, to different parts, to the different parts of the plant body. The nutrients are transferred with the help of water, right? And there were 2 more reasons. Let us look at the slide, right? Seed germination requires presence of water, and also water protects the crop from frost and hot air currents. If this comes as a 3-mark question, you will be explaining the detail, and this is a minimum 3-mark question. It might come as a 5-mark question as well. If it comes as a 5-mark question, then you will be explaining in even more detail, right? Give proper detail for this question. It is a very important question basically. Next question. What are the traditional methods of irrigation? It was basically pulley system, right, which was moat, then dhekli, then rehet, right, chain pump. So basically simple crude lever systems are being utilized. Simple crude lever systems, right? Basically they are using pulley in all of them majorly because they are not utilizing their mechanical strength anymore because it takes much more labor. So simple crude lever systems were introduced as the traditional methods, and in this question, this will be a minimum 3-mark question and you will explain it in detail. You will be explaining all these, right? And if possible, draw a diagram for them as well, a rough diagram, which will help you score better. But do not draw the proper scenery, which wastes your time. Just give a simple idea that this is how the system works. Next is, what are the modern methods of irrigation? How are they different from traditional methods? So there are 4 new methods of irrigation, modern methods, right? They are different from traditional methods because they are much more economical and efficient, right? They require less labor. So the first is drip irrigation, right? The first one is drip irrigation. Second is the sprinkler system. Third is the furrow irrigation. And fourth one is basin irrigation. So you will be explaining all the 4 in proper detail, which you can learn from the lesson. I learned from the lecture that was of the topic. Basically, I am just giving you the hint that this question can easily come in your exam. And what you have to do is, you have to mention all these 4 methods, which are the new modern systems, and explain them in detail as much as you can do, right? This might come as a 5-mark question. right? 4 marks for the first part and 1 mark from the last part. So this is a very important question, students. Next question. The time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, and season to season. As I told you in the lecture as well, that the time and frequency of irrigation varies from crop to crop, soil to soil, and season to season. Last question. What do you understand by the term waterlogging? Basically, what happens in waterlogging is that in the soil zone, in the zone of the soil of a plant's soil zone, there is presence of excess water, which decreases the amount of oxygen present in the soil, which is important for the plant. So due to water logging, the excess water decreases the amount of oxygen present in the soil, and this is not good for plants. This is very bad. This must be taken care that only a certain amount of water that is required by the plant should be given to the plant. Not excess water should be given, because that may lead to water logging. What are manures and fertilizers? These are the substances added to the soil which act as nutrients for better growth of plants, right? These are the substances which are utilized, which act as nutrients for better growth of plants. So students, these substances are, firstly they are manures, second are fertilizers. Manures are the organic substance, obtained from the decomposed wastes of animals and plants, right? And this is again of two types. First is compost, which is obtained from plants, and second is farmyard manure, which is brought from animals, right? It is organic in nature because it is obtained from a natural source, and it is much better than fertilizers. Now fertilizers are inorganic substance that is produced in factories. These are rich in a particular nutrient. They are not general, they are rich in a particular nutrient, and hence they are utilized in smaller quantities. So these are the manures and fertilizers. What is manure? What are its types? Manure is the, as I already defined, you write the definition here, right? This is for 1 mark. Its types are two: compost and farmyard manure. This is obtained from plants, and farmyard manure is obtained from animal wastes, right? Plant waste and animal waste. What is weeding and why is it necessary? Students, for weeding, first of all you have to define weeds. The undesirable plants that grow naturally along with the crop are known as weeds. Now the removal of weeds is known as weeding, right? Now why is it necessary? It is necessary because the weeds compete with the plants for water, nutrients, space and light, right? They compete with the plants, then they affect the growth and they may be poisonous for animals and human beings. So that is why weeding is necessary. Next question, weeding should be done. When should weeding be done? Weeding should be done before they reach the stage of seeding and flowering. Right? Before they develop flowers and seeds, the weeding should be done. What are the different methods of weeding? Explain in detail. First one is tilling or plowing, you can say. You can explain it with yourself. You can you can watch the lecture as well. I am just writing the names of the methods. Second one was manual, in which you use a khurpi. Right? You already know about plowing. You know about manual. Third is chemical, in which you spray the weed killer, which does not affect the crop. So these are the different methods of weeding. You have to explain them in detail. This is a 3-mark question. Next question. What do you understand by the term crop protection? How is it done? Crop protection is basically protection of crop from animals, stray animals basically, birds and pests, right? This is the crop protection. And how is it done? It is done with the help of fencing, right? Scarecrows or chemical sprays, right? So this is how crop protection is done.